This week on Turd Talks.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what these fucking old people are thinking. You open your door, and it's like you've walked straight into a steam room.
Yes, or something.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
How does that one go?
I think
let's get drunk and screw
pretty
it.
much, like they all sound the same.
Yeah. If Paul McCartney just stayed around for another 15, 20 years.
It's totally possible.
With technology today.
And
who knows?
How
they might
many
give him a
like
fake monkey heart and just keep him going. I've been selling my soul, working all day.
2 hours to get back.
Shit. You have to sit next to shit.
Dude.
And the plane probably reeked. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of Turd Talks. I just wanted to take a second to thank everybody. We had Dennis Waters on the show last week, and we had such a great time, and we made a clip about pooping and specifically wiping and standing up to wipe. Made a reel about it, and we had a lot of people messaging us and commenting, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who commented about the poops and the farts.
Yes.
We do this for you guys, so thank you. We love you.
Big time. It's so awesome.
So I hope you all had a good Labor Day weekend too, by the way. Nice long weekend. We sure did. Mm-hmm. But the week before this, here in Southwest Florida, we had a hurricane. What was it called again? Ibiza or some shit?
Oh my gosh. Idalia?
Idalia was headed right up the middle of the Gulf, and we were getting pretty worried. We're okay because we're inland. We're pretty far inland, but my parents and my sister both live on Marco Island, which is an island, an actual island, for real island.
Literally, yeah.
And we were there the day before trying to get everything up off the ground on the first floor, and we even went over to the marina because, to secure the boat, make sure it wasn't going to fucking float away. And when we got to the marina, the tide, this is before the storm had even gotten near us yet, and the tide was way above the dock.
Yeah. Can I say something funny?
Yeah.
I just kind of realized something about the boat. We were very concerned about putting the bimini top back on.
Yeah.
Didn't we do that? Or no, we took it off, didn't we?
Yeah, we took it off.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was sitting here thinking, I was like, did we just put the top on and...
That just goes to show what a fucked up week it's been because you don't even remember what we did.
No. I'm trying to piece it together.
We went there to take the bimini top off because last time it flapped so hard in the hurricane.
That's what it was.
That it ripped and it shredded.
Yeah.
And then we had to custom order another fucking bimini top.
Yeah.
And it took forever.
It's insane.
They got the wrong size and then we had to order it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell no, we are not.
We're putting it down.
Yeah,
okay.
we are not letting this bimini fly away like
Sorry,
the last one.
I mixed that up. I started laughing to
okay.
myself. I was like, did we totally do the wrong thing because we were so freaked out?
No, we did the right thing.
We did the right thing this time.
I was in total control. Don't worry.
We did everything right this time.
I put the buoys. I double tied everything.
It was great.
I made sure it was secure as shit.
Tell them how we had to climb over stuff and
yeah. So that's what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Is the docks, because they have floating docks there, but there's also stationary, just regular docks.
Yeah.
Those docks were completely underwater.
Yeah.
Where you could walk out, up to your ankle.
Insane.
And then the floating dock was actually higher than the ground.
Yes.
So the ramp that normally you walk down to get on the floating dock, we had to walk up and then jump down to get to the boat. So we were already thinking oh my God, it's going to flood again. Like
it was really scary.
For Irma.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it was bad. So we were panicking, a lot of stress.
And then what was even crazier was when we finished setting up, we were hearing about these tornado warnings or whatever. And so we're like, okay, time to drive home. Let's beat the rain. That was our main concern. Let's beat the first band of the storm.
Yeah.
And
we
enough.
We were over at my parents' on Marco. We were getting all their shit, their furniture up off the floor. And we have a bunk bed down there. We're throwing everything on top of the bunk bed.
Yeah.
And we ended up driving home in the middle of the tornado warning.
Which at one point we were at a huge intersection in South Naples.
Yeah.
And we looked at the sky and I was like,
We both looked over at the same time And then we looked at each other. We were like, oh, fuck, is that a tornado?
Is that like a funnel cloud? Like, that is the sketchiest cloud I've seen in so long.
So
like, the sky just was...
We were living real life Twister.
Yeah, and then come to find out, there was like many tornadoes that day. Lots of warnings and watches and funnel clouds and crazy.
Luckily, the storm went north.
Right next to us.
I mean, sorry to all those people in North Florida, but
Totally.
we couldn't have handled another one down here. Fort Myers is still rebuilding. So.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Anyway, we survived. Everything is okay, but it was really stressful. I still am like tense.
Me too.
Because we didn't know until the day before. You never know what that thing's going to do. Those fucking assholes on the Weather Channel try to pretend like they know, and they give you 6 different, spaghetti models. One spaghetti model had it coming back around.
Hitting us
like
again.
a fish hook. Yeah. So you don't know.
It's horrible. No, they don't know. And I think it was just, I'm glad that we're all prepared now, at least for the next 2 months. I guess they said it's finally now is the height of hurricane season. So we'll see. It was just so weird that it was like right there, but like not affecting us. Do you know what I mean? That was like a weird, scary sensation, I guess.
I mean, as we were watching it on the radar, it was literally just miles off of the coast, just skirting right past us.
It's insanity.
It was a scary one.
It was a weird experience.
But then when it was finally, we woke up that next day and it was gone. We were like, what the hell have we just been through?
I know.
Like,
I know.
What was all this?
I know.
You know?
It was so bizarre.
But better to be ready like we were. We've learned our lesson.
Yeah,
Get
and
our
I
shit
think
ready.
a lot of people need to know too. It's really the after the storm that sucks too.
Yeah. Quickly though, I wanted to say, now that it's September, summer's over officially.
Yeah.
And this has been one of the shittiest summers ever.
Yeah.
On record.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, I'll just explain season real quick for people that don't know Florida and Naples specifically.
Yeah.
Is that half of the year it's empty and it's hot as shit. That's during summer.
Yeah.
And that's when we try to enjoy the beach and the golf and the amenities, the beautiful things of Naples that in season we really don't get to enjoy because all the prices go exponentially up for everything and it's crowded as shit. You can't drive. You can't. There's lines.
You can't go to the restaurants. You can't go to the doctor's office.
Yeah, so this is the time for locals to go to the fucking doctor.
Literally,
because the other half of the year, you're shit out of luck.
This is when I do my annual appointment. Like I don't do it on my birthday. I do it every summer.
I'd also like to say, to add in, that this town is extremely ageist. And if you are under the age of 50, people look at you like you are an asshole and you don't belong here.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yes.
Or whose grandkid are you? Because you
So
clearly,
true.
Because you clearly
So
don't
true.
live here.
Yeah.
And we're treated like scum.
Yes.
As locals.
Yes.
So these fucking snowbirds, as we call them, they come in and they're almost here.
Yeah.
They're gonna come in and completely take over and then act like they own the fucking place.
It's so true. It's so horrible.
I think I finally understand what Native Americans felt like.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some asshole comes in and we were born here too. You were born here. I was raised here.
Yeah.
So we're as real like Naples people as you can get. Everyone else comes from somewhere else.
Right.
We're the real fucking natives.
I know.
And then these fuckers come in and they act like they own the place and treat us like we don't belong. Excuse me.
We run this place.
Yeah. We run this bitch. Well,
I'm sorry, but like without us, there would be no Naples. It blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what these fucking old people are thinking.
I mean, the people that like really run Naples, like the teachers, the hospital people, the restaurant, service industry, hotels, whatever, right? I'm finding out more and more they live in Lee County. They live in Fort Myers. They can't even live here. So everyone's driving. If you ever try to get on the highway between like before work or after work, like that 3 to 5, get ready to just stand in like traffic that you wouldn't believe. People can't like
Oh,
understand.
and people don't drive well here either.
So then they get in a car crash.
Because
and
they're
then,
old.
Yeah.
They're senile.
Boom.
They're mean.
Boom.
Very aggressive. They
mean.
So much road rage here. Cars are constantly flipping off the road. You wouldn't think about it. You'd think like, oh, it's Naples. It's a bunch of old people that are like docile and slow. No.
But they're old people from Jersey.
Ah.
Ouch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Old people from Massachusetts. Ouch. Old people from New York. Ouch. Do you know what I mean?
That's the like, hey, get the fuck out of my way, asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, this is our town.
I know.
You get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I don't mind the old
Shit.
people from the Midwest, like the Indiana, whatever. They're kind of nice. I've met, being a waitress, I've met so many old people, and it just shocked me, the men, just how fucking rude they were and like disgusting and just like.
Living in this town has made me really hate old people. I'm serious. I used to, you're raised to respect your elders.
Right.
Hold the door for an old lady crossing the street. If they're in line, say, oh, you go ahead, ma'am.
Right.
If they don't have shit in the grocery store. I never do that anymore. Because I have been abused and shit on by the old people so bad that I've lost all respect.
Yeah.
Respect goes both ways.
Right.
So I've had it. So they're on their way here. And this summer sucked because it was so fucking hot. This is a very long-winded story about summer. But it was so fucking hot down here.
Dude.
It was record heats.
Dude.
That you can't even explain it to somebody that hasn't experienced it. It's like walking into a steam room. You open your door, and it's like you've walked straight into a steam room.
Yes.
104 degrees, 100% humidity, ass sweat immediately just whoosh, whoosh, right down your crack.
I can't see because my eyeballs are sweating.
Yeah.
My eyeballs are fogging up.
So my big thing is golf. I like to golf in the summer, and I didn't play any golf this summer.
Horrible.
Because it was just too hot. It was too miserable out there.
Yeah.
And I'm depressed.
It really was tragic. I just felt like I would have loved to have gone to Busch Gardens or something, but I couldn't have imagined it. I couldn't have imagined really going to the beach. I think I went to the beach one time.
They just had schools open back, and
oh yeah,
and Collier County.
They had to suspend. Maybe it started again now, but for a while there, no sports or activities could be held outside. They couldn't have games.
Deemed too dangerous for the children.
Yeah, for anybody. It was enough. We can't, because most people don't even know we have a lot of AstroTurf here for football fields, and that even already adds 15 extra degrees to the weather. So yeah, plastic fields, they burn. So it really was
it makes
just
sense
so
that
shitty.
It's all that black tar underneath. It's just going to reflect heat.
Horrible. It's like asphalt back
Yeah.
at you. So I'm glad poor kids, but
Yeah.
now I guess it's getting slightly better, but it's still hot as fuck.
So even on a more depressing note than that,
Oh no.
Jimmy Buffett, the lead singer from Smash Mouth, can't remember his name right now, I'm sorry, and Bob Barker all died this week, all passed away. Bob Barker, I think, was last week, but dude,
This felt personal.
we were just a couple episodes ago laughing about Rat Race and how you cried at the end at the Smash Mouth concert, and then we didn't even know he was sick, and then they released a statement, and the next day
I feel like
gone.
I killed him.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Do you ever get that feeling where you're like,
That-
I've thought
you
about him
can't
too
think-
much and I
No.
brought it into my existence and then he died?
The fact that we were thinking about him and playing his music in his final days, I think is a good thing. It's a mitzvah of a thing we did.
I guess you're right.
We didn't kill him. He would have been happy that we were
Supporting
watching
him
Rat
so
Race.
much.
Yeah.
and- yeah. I mean, honestly, the other day we were listening to him in the car and we were both shocked. I mean, there was 10 hits in a row. We were like,
Yeah.
holy shit, these guys were on fire.
They had some bangers.
Holy shit.
And they did some covers.
Great
They were
covers.
all good covers.
Great covers.
They were in so many 90s movies.
Oh my gosh. The best movies had Smash Mouth in them.
We're going to play a Smash Mouth song at the end
Yeah.
to honor
Commemorative.
whatever his name was. Steve Harwell.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Steve Harwell.
I was thinking Steve Harvey,
I know.
and then
I know. Okay, Steve Harwell, I really got to thank you. Shrek would have never been anything as good without you.
Yes.
My whole childhood was wrapped around your fingers, and like I just thank you.
Opening
so
scene of
much.
Shrek, Smash Mouth.
Holy shit. And I think another one too, if I'm not mistaken.
That had Smash Mouth all through it, didn't it?
It might have. I think that's it's so good. I'm freaking out.
And then so that was like for millennials,
Dude.
That was fucking
Elementary school, right
stab
there.
right to the chest.
Yeah.
But for Gen Zers, Jimmy Buffett was a hero.
Yes.
He wasn't our generation,
Yes.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yes.
But I love the concept of like a song that you know the lyrics to, you can sing along,
Easy.
and you have a cold drink in your hand
Beautiful.
on a beach,
Positive.
wearing a stupid looking fucking Hawaiian shirt.
And probably a straw hat or some shit.
Yes. That's a
Fucking
good
A.
life to live. Say what you want
best.
about Jimmy Buffett, people.
The best.
That is a good way to live your life.
What a message.
Yeah.
Like American hero, honestly. And my dad's Gen Z, and like he told me, he was like, I've never felt
He took it hard.
like such pain. And
He's like, this is a bad one.
I went over to his house, and he was like watching on YouTube just hours of music videos and
Old
interviews. And he actually said Paul McCartney and him were great friends. And he even played him a song on his deathbed and sang for him. Paul McCartney did.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? And
What an honor for Jimmy.
Everyone says the best things about him and says that he was just the coolest guy. He's actually traveled the world twice. Did you know that? On a boat.
On a boat?
Circled the world 2 times.
I was gonna say it makes sense that he's seen the world.
Yeah,
but not on a boat.
Literally on a he's done the real damn thing.
And I was hanging in Margarita. I don't know any of the lyrics.
Oh my gosh, I think I do. Maybe I don't, but
Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
oh, the best. We were listening to "Let's Get Drunk and Screw." That was a big one from the 70s or 80s or something.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
How does that one go?
I think
Let's get drunk and screw.
pretty much like they all sound the same.
That's good.
Till Monday. There's so many great ones, but he wrote like hundreds of songs. He was nonstop since the 70s.
There's not a lot left, as I go through because I love 70s rock, classic rock. Those are my guys. And I think about who's left. There's not a lot. Paul McCartney, I am hanging on to Paul for dear life.
Dude, and he looks really great.
He's great.
Making lots of music. You know what I
But-
mean? He's hanging with the kids. He's like making music with the teenagers now and stuff. Like he's still trying to be with it.
But he can't really be here for that much longer. It's just not possible.
What if he
Like
becomes the oldest man alive?
Same with Mick Jagger. Oh, that would make my heart sing if Paul McCartney just stayed around for another 15, 20 years.
It's totally possible.
With technology today,
and
who
how
knows?
how
they might
many
give him
like
a fake monkey heart and just keep him going.
yes, and he's like consumed so many like hallucinogenics and maybe like he unleashed something within himself. I don't know. He looks so good.
That's
He's
a
like
good point.
he's on like a great
You got
streak right now.
Paul, Mick Jagger, and Ozzy Osbourne, who between the three of them have
Dude.
probably consumed a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And they're fine. Keith Richards is still alive.
My God.
He snorted his dad's ashes.
Dude, that is sick.
And he's fine.
It's gross.
So
I think Ozzy has
do
like
drugs.
yeah, embalmed himself from the inside from all the shit he's done. I predict Ozzy will live the longest of them all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Robin Williams said that it's Keith Richards is gonna like outlive the cockroaches.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is so great.
It's true.
Well, damn, and also Bob Barker, thanks for the memories of my childhood
yes.
as well.
Bob Barker, one of the best scenes in Happy Gilmore.
Damn, yeah.
The Price is Wrong, bitch.
So cool that he did that.
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough.
Dude, yeah.
Yes.
I always had dreams of being on The Price is Right and traveling to California. Like, that's what I would think of when going to California. I'd be like, I'm going to sit in line all day. I'm going to be on that show. My mom took it seriously. It was a really fun thing in our house.
How long was he on the air with that? I mean, he hosted that. I think
long.
He was the only host that I know of,
yes.
right?
Yes, until Drew Carey took over.
Wow.
Who does a great job, but
Drew, yeah, he does pretty well. But nobody can fill Bob Barker's shoes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fun times.
So that was a rough loss for Gen Zs and millennials.
Yeah.
Or Gen X.
And probably Bob
I fucked
Barker's
that
even
up.
like the boomers and
Gen
beyond.
X? Gen X.
Yeah.
Not Gen Z.
No.
Gen X and millennials.
I'd be shocked if Gen Z
even knew who Jimmy Buffett was.
Probably, yeah.
Jimmy who?
They only know the hotels and like the margarita machines.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. There's this song that has gone completely viral.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard it. Unless you live under a rock,
Yeah.
you've heard it.
Or seen the guy, lots of memes and
you've
such.
seen something about it, and it's the song Men North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony.
Yes.
And it's a good song.
Yeah.
We were listening to it. Rather, she was listening to it, and she asked me, "Oh, have you heard this song?" And I was like, yeah, it's really cool. It's very heartfelt. You know, I like that the guy, it's just him and the guitar.
Totally.
In the forest.
Yeah.
With one microphone, and he's just belting it out. And so we were listening to it in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I could tell you were like getting really into it and getting kind of emotional, you know?
I mean, the message of the chorus is like, it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like really into the chorus. I'd only heard it on like Instagram videos or whatever. And sure enough, we keep listening. We get to the second
So it
verse.
starts out like, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours, bullshit pay.
Yeah.
And then, so you're like, wow. And you're thinking like, fuck the man, fuck the government.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like thinking of my family who has to like suffer so much and just to get
Oh,
by.
it's a damn shame.
Yeah.
What the world's gotten to.
Yeah.
Well, people like me and people like you. And then,
Catchy as fuck, right?
Yeah, and then so it starts to get to the end of the song.
The second verse.
And we're both like, what the fuck? And it says, here's the lyrics. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. And that was when I first saw your eyebrow kind of go up. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat. Well, God, you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds. Your taxes ought not pay for your bags of fudge rounds.
Bro.
And that's when we were like, what the fuck is this song about?
It took us such a huge turn, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're talking about Epstein Island. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what I
And the
mean?
coal miners.
Versus coal miners. So I was like, that's an interesting comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I obviously am not for Epstein Island whatsoever, but I was just a little shocked out of nowhere.
He's like, why do we care about these miners when we should care about the coal miners?
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, the lyrics were, that's not, okay, whatever. We're moving forward. But then
All right.
let's attack the fat people.
Yeah. When you're 5'2" and you're 300 pounds.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he has a problem with welfare, short people, and fat people.
Fat people who eat junk food.
Fudge rounds.
Fudge rounds, specifically.
Specifically fudge rounds. I just think it's a weird lyric and then again for the song that's so popular.
They didn't talk about that part.
No. I don't know if anybody even got to that part. They
I
just
don't think
they
so
listened to like the
either.
first half because we're such assholes. We don't listen to the whole song
30
anymore.
seconds
yeah,
or
we're
less,
like, that's
yeah.
a good song.
Yeah,
And then we
next.
just, yep.
Swipe next.
Yep.
That's what happened. And I don't think anyone listened to this shit. And I just like don't understand why we're just constantly like, and fuck fat people every fucking day.
They are just sick and fat as hell.
What the hell, bro? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, what the hell?
I
That guy's
imagine
like a little pudgy himself, too.
I mean, most coal miners are probably overweight as well. Like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
I just honestly am like, So funny how like
it just took such a turn.
pissed me off.
So yeah, next time you're listening to that, like listen a little closer because it's a funny song.
Just leave the fat people alone, okay? Like we're just trying our best.
There was a great message that was starting with like your dollar ain't shit because it's taxed to hell, and
yes,
the rich men north of Richmond, they own the 1%ers own everything, and he even said he wrote the song about the Republicans at the debate and all that shit.
Then they played it at the debate, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is a joke." And I've heard, the guy was offered a record deal, and he said no, and like he's trying to be like all independent.
Another interesting thing about this guy is 30 days before he went viral with this song, he was struggling with addiction, and he turned to Jesus, and he said, "Jesus, fix my life. Turn this around." And then 30 days later, he was getting offered millions of dollars for this fucking song.
I mean, that's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
And props
and
to
then
like
he turned
having
it
such
down.
a viral song is like really hard. And I get the message. I loved it, but just like fuck the second verse. Like what's wrong with you?
Just scrap. I don't know. It just so left field. He just should have just kept it consistent with the message.
Well, that's what happens when your first song you ever written your whole life goes viral.
Yeah. Good point.
You know what I mean?
Good fucking point. So Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are no longer. They have split. She's happy about it. I'm very happy about it because she's on my list.
Right. And I'm just clapping for all the girls. Like every girl loves the Jonas Brothers. So I'm like, woo woo.
Oh, like
Let
he's
him
back
be
on
free.
the market?
Yeah, for both teams.
Sophie Turner's back on the market.
I mean, she's really hot too. I'm not, but I'm just saying, like a lot of girls are like obsessed with the Jonas Brother thing. So.
Well, a lot of dudes are obsessed with Sophie Turner, and I'm one of them.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she's hot too.
She's on my list.
Yeah.
We talked about it the other day.
I'm shocked because you always
my
said
hall
like
pass.
moms aren't hot. She's a mom.
Something about her.
There you go.
It's the Game of Thrones version of her, I think, that I fell in love with. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I gotta be honest.
What season were you like?
I didn't know she was a mom till you just told me, and now she's not on my list
Did
anymore.
you just shrivel up a bit?
she just down a couple notches on the list.
I think they have 2 kids together. And what's interesting is like they had their second kid like a year ago and nobody still knows its name. It's like a big secret. I did some research into them and like I was just like trying to imagine them as a couple. And I was like, wow, what an interesting match. You have
Nobody knows the kid's name?
No,
Does he know his fucking name?
For all I know, they probably haven't even named him still. You know how celebrities do that? Like the Jenner girl just like changed her baby's name and he's like 1 or 2 years old. So it's like, how confusing.
What?
Like you can't even, I don't know. It's just a weird match. I'm trying to imagine this like big Disney Channel superstar of childhood versus like this British Game of Thrones girl who had one huge show and nothing else. I wonder what their fights are like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like Disney's way shittier than HBO.
And I didn't show my titties or anything.
Yeah.
I'm one of the classy girls on HBO.
Yeah. She was.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he showed his titties, but
She had a hard time on that show. That's all I'm going to say about that.
oh my God.
So
Ouch.
something I saw this week that really worried me is I saw that companies have invented this thing that's a wearable chair. It's something you strap to your legs. It looks like something that Forrest Gump had as a child.
Yeah.
But it's when you lean back on it, it allows you to just sit kind of standing up.
Okay.
And my first thought was, people are so fucking tired and overworked and their feet are hurting so bad that we're getting to a point that we need to get them chairs so they can stand up for a second. How about we just don't work as much?
Yeah.
How about we just chill the fuck out
I know.
and don't work people to the bone?
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
It would.
What a concept.
I wish.
But companies are like, no, we're going to come up with a chair so you can literally sleep at your desk.
Bro. Bro, exactly. They don't
You
care.
never have to leave.
They don't care.
No. That's where they're putting the money. The extra bonus money that the fucking CEO is getting. He's like, let's invest in wearable chairs that all of our employees are going to have to strap onto their asses and look like morons
Literally.
walking around the office. Clickety.
It just seems like it's going to cause more problems than good.
Yeah. It's a fucking stupid idea.
Yeah.
But I just had to throw that in there because I thought, what is the world? What's the world coming to? People like me. People like you.
Wear chairs on our asses.
And chairs on our pants.
Doesn't make sense. Fat people too. They fucking did it.
Now we gotta wear chairs for fucking pants. Because fat people came out and did a little dance.
Jesus Christ. Exactly.
Yeah. So iPhone finally came out and they said, we don't recommend that you sleep with your phone next to your head
Oh.
because it's cancer causing.
Oh.
It's bad for you.
Apple said that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They said don't sleep with your phone next to your head. How long has the iPhone been out?
I think it came out in 2007, but I could be wrong. 2006.
So almost 20 years that
Yeah,
I've been
we're
sleeping with
coming
this fucking
close.
thing next to my head.
Fuck, bro. I used to sleep with that thing under my head.
Yeah, yeah, people put it under the pillow. I've heard people sleep with it under the pillow.
Or like hold it
But,
at
like,
night in your hand. And
Everybody's phone chargers by their nightstand.
Right.
Everybody.
Especially if you use it as an alarm clock in the morning.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And now,
That is so
almost,
funny.
15, 16 years later, they're like, by the way, it's a bad idea. Don't put it next to your head. Now you fucking tell us.
So my question is, what's the minimum require? How far does it need to be from your body?
They're saying put it in a different room.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really freaked out right now
Yeah.
because
And they're saying that it could really affect your sleep and fuck you up. I didn't read that much into it. But
I sleep next to my bed. I just want to let you know. I got my iPhone, usually my iPad,
You are surrounded by
usually my
screens.
Nintendo Switch. I like to have a nice fun time in the morning. I wake up and I woohoo. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's my alone gaming time.
Yep.
And it's yikes.
And then, not only have we been sleeping with it next to our heads, we've been putting it in our pockets. So it's right next to our genitals, destroying our little semen.
Yep.
My swimmers are destroyed.
Mine's in my back right pocket right now.
And they're wondering why the birth rate, the fertility rate is
worse than ever. And women are getting breast cancer younger and younger. And
because
all
I got
other cancers younger and
Wi-Fi
younger.
beams going right into my testicles.
I always keep mine in my bra.
You're going to have breast cancer,
Yep.
titty cancer.
I always shove it right here. Not anymore, but
Pressed up right against the skin. That's where you want it.
in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where you want it.
Fantastic.
So we'll see when the studies come out in, 15 years from now, when they're like, oh, now we really know the damage.
We know we're going to find out so much. I'm going to pretty much turn into a microplastic by the time I'm 80. I'm just going to be a piece of plastic.
But since I found this out, guess what? I still put it next to my fucking head. Because it's what, you know what I mean? The damage is done.
I'm thinking now my parents are brilliant. They've always had their iPhones in the kitchen.
Even at night?
Yes. And I've always said, do you not care if something happens or if someone needs you? And they're like, no.
They might be the last.
They're onto something. Yeah.
They might make it.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Always noticed that. I was like, I've never seen anyone do that.
Well, I've just given in. I don't care.
Fuck it. I mean,
here it is, right next to my balls.
what am I supposed to do though when I have a job that I have to have my phone on me 24/7? I have to have someone contacting me constantly to update me and say change this, do that, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I don't either. Keep it next to your
Breast.
Yeah.
And my
keep it in your
heart.
breastises. And I will continue to keep it in my pocket because there's nowhere else to put it. I don't have a purse. I just have a
That
pocket.
sucks. Yeah.
Even the hoodie pocket, that's goes right in front of my penis.
Yep, literally.
That's worse
Bro.
than the pocket. Maybe that's why I have hip problems. Because the phone is just...
Try switching pockets. See if the other hip explodes.
Fucking piece of shit.
Maybe, but now I'm thinking about how the hippies have that like EMF blocking technology or whatever with certain stones and like stuff.
There is a little like bead you can put on the phone. I've seen those. It's like a little
are they onto something there?
magnet or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Moving on. Carlos Santana had to issue an apology to the LGBTQ community because he had some comments that he said during some performance. It was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No, the Rock and Roll Hall of... What? No. This is just a really poorly worded article. But he said it was a concert in June, and he told the audience that certain gender expressions and identities ain't right. So Santana, what the fuck, dude?
Just like play the music.
Yeah. Just
I don't know.
But I just didn't expect that from Santana, being a child of the 60s in Woodstock where everybody was just like banging in the mud.
Yeah.
And they didn't care about gender stuff.
you.
And they were just like, I might have banged a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it was so muddy and rainy.
And I liked it.
Yep. He was just...
His music is rad too.
So that was a bit upsetting. At least he apologized.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I hurt people feeling. Another great story for this week. You love this one.
Huh.
A Delta plane had to turn around because a passenger diarrheaed all over the plane. And there's a bit of audio you can hear from the pilot calling. He's like,
Literally.
This is Delta flight, whatever, 4 to 8 whatever.
Air control.
To air control. Do you have it?
Actually, I can pull it up probably really quickly.
It is hilarious.
It is so funny.
But like, what I imagine, right? Because if the guy just shit himself in the seat,
Yeah.
it's probably easily contained. Like, all right, everybody, get away from the shit seat. But it's the way they made it sound was this guy went up the aisle and shit his way the whole way up the aisle.
I am really upset because I did not just find the sound, but I found footage of the actual diarrhea through the plane.
Let me see this. I've got to see.
I don't know if I'm supposed to call Twitter X now because I'm old and I refuse. I call it Twitter.
Let me see the X.
Refuse, but like...
Yeah, okay, I was right, because it is literally like a trail of diarrhea going up the entire aisle.
I cannot believe I just...
Oh my God.
Isn't that insane? Like, you guys, the
So
amount
they
of
were
diarrhea is like alarming. Like, it looks like somebody took a brown can of paint and just spilled it.
This guy is never going to live that one down.
Whoa.
Ever.
So what's crazy?
He was... It looked like he was mid-sprint and just... And
That doesn't look like mid-sprint.
Every step that he took...
That looks like he slowly walked.
Like he just
And
trotted.
shit himself down. Because, like, to have that much shit on the ground that whole way... That's coming from a human being. Do you know what I mean? I'm assuming it's an old person that like couldn't really walk
just
far.
Was trotting. They were like, "I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it."
And it's just like slowly. What's funny is it was an international flight from Atlanta to Barcelona.
Yeah.
And so they were like
going
over the ocean, and it was 2 hours into the flight. Like everyone's probably finally like settling in. They're like, okay, we're getting close. We're like almost halfway through the flight. Like, we're getting there. All right, kids, settle down, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
and then someone shits themselves. And now you have to wait 2 hours to get back.
Shit. You have to sit next to shit.
Dude.
And the plane probably reeked.
And that's literally, like I said, a biohazard. Like, you can
had to turn
get
it around.
diseases. Like, I literally would sue.
Yeah, I would too. If I was on that flight,
I have never in my life.
I would sue.
This is like my new favorite story. I'm sorry.
I mean, this is so on brand for us.
It's the funniest thing ever.
Diarrhea plane.
It's scary.
I got it.
It's
hot snakes on a plane.
somebody get these
Motherfucking hot snakes
off of this damn plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's exactly. Somebody should have screened that, and if they didn't, missed opportunity.
There's going to be a documentary that comes out about this.
Yep.
In a few months, and it's going to be called Hot Snakes on a Plane
on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And then
coming soon.
Once again, we can sue because you came up with the name first.
Yep. You heard it here, folks. Hot snakes. And you know what hot snakes are. Everybody knows. Oh, yeah, I got a good one. So we found this new thing when we go out to a restaurant that, oftentimes you'll have a problem with the food. It happens, right? Sorry, adjusting here. It happens. The burger's well done and whatever, blah, blah. It's no seasoning. I am the type of person that I never send it back. I've always just said, whatever, and I eat it. Unless it's really bad. There's been maybe 2 or 3 times where I was like, this is yeah, I can't eat this.
Yeah.
So we went out to, where was it?
It's called like Z's Music Kitchen or Cafe or something like that. No, it was
the one before that. It was the New South Street.
The New South Street.
We went to the New South Street. We ate there, and the food was bad.
Dude.
It was very disappointing.
Dude. Like, I can't even explain. Like, Applebee's is higher.
Much better. I would have much rather gone to Applebee's.
Just so everybody can understand the quality.
The scale. I mean,
we're talking about here.
I could have whipped something up at home in 5 minutes that would have been much better.
Yeah.
Don't remember exactly what it was that was wrong with the meal. But
just tasteless and like no flavor. They just chopped it up so bad. Your steak sandwich or whatever. Yeah.
I ordered a Philly cheesesteak and it said with whiz. And we all know whiz comes from a fucking can.
Bro.
Whiz is a very specific thing. You can't say whiz.
Yeah.
Unless it's whiz.
Cheese whiz. Yeah.
They plopped on nacho cheese sauce.
Bro.
That just yellowy gloop. And they put a shit ton on it. So it was pretty much inedible.
Yeah.
And I would have asked for other cheese.
Yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah, because it's not whiz.
Yeah.
And then that nacho cheese just made me sick.
And it tastes like nachos. Like, that's
it's
ridiculous.
Not a Philly.
Yeah.
And I think I even asked, like, is the Philly good? And she's like, oh, yeah.
And, of course, it's, like, in, like, a special box. Like, we're known for Philly. Okay, mind you, and everyone needs to know, this is a Philadelphia bar.
It's called South Street.
Okay? How offensive. Like, Jesus Christ.
That is a shunda.
Yeah.
On Philadelphia cheesesteaks.
Big time.
People from Philly, Pat's and Gino's, would spit on that cheesesteak and throw it against the wall.
Yeah.
So I ate it.
Yeah.
Naturally, I said, fuck it. I'm too hungry. I'm not going to have them order something else, whip up some other shit.
Yeah.
So I ate it. And at the end of the meal, when the lady brought the check, I was signing the thing and I wrote, you were great. Food was shit.
Yep.
And since then, we did it again at
Z's
Music Kitchen because we got French fries and they were clearly cooked in the same batter or oil as the fish.
Right, which all restaurants do, but I think the issue was they had not changed that oil.
It was
in a
fishy.
Long time. It was
and I don't
fucked.
eat fish.
I've never experienced that before.
I'm not a fish person. So first French fry, I'm just like...
It's like fried fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bizarre.
And my burger, too, was very fishy.
Oh, God. How did that even happen?
I think the flat top grill, they just do the burger and the fish. It's all on the same fucking thing. They don't care.
They don't clean it.
So, again, we wrote on the thing, you were great. Fries tasted like fish. So this is the way, because then you don't have to deal with
I don't want to make you feel like total. It's not your fault.
No,
waiter or
yes,
waitress.
yes.
You know what I mean?
And
but
it's like a comment card
yes,
without having to deal with the backlash. You don't want, because the other thing is if you told them, the manager would come over and be like, I'm so sorry to hear you don't like your shit, and is there anything I can do for you?
and it's like I don't have enough time to even make you make something else. Like I got to get out of here. You know what I mean?
And I don't want to be annoyed. I don't have to be like, no, don't worry about it. Have all that shit.
I have worked in 2 restaurants that had comment cards in the little, thing when you get your check. And that was like really funny, honestly, what people would put. And like, it was sometimes helpful. It was sometimes really fucked up or sometimes very nice. You know what I mean? So I think it does give a fair opportunity for everyone to just like get it out. And then it's like, at least they don't put it on Yelp too, because that's more permanent, So
yeah, I'm not trying to destroy anybody's business.
Yeah.
Unless we've gotten really fucked before. Then I'm like, Chloe, I need you to put that on Yelp right now.
Yeah.
But that's only happened maybe twice.
Truly. Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of the time we let it slide.
But
I'm not trying to hurt anybody's
just need them to
business.
know.
They need to know. And so I highly recommend it, because then I walk out of there feeling better about myself. I'm not just like, wow, I just ate like a piece of shit and I paid for it and I said nothing about it.
Yeah.
So this is the way.
I really like that.
It's the new way.
It's fun. And I think as a waiter, it's just funny getting those things. You'll laugh.
So another thing that's kind of weird is that in India, apparently they are switching the name. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be called India anymore, and they don't want to be referred to as Indian. Mm-hmm. So now there are no Indians left.
What do they want to be called?
I forget again. I blew it. But it's like, oh, here we go. Bharat. It says Indian government's reportedly preparing to change the country's name to Bharat. Just to confuse everybody even further. Indians, Native Americans are no longer. And then Indians from India are also no longer. So the word Indian doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
What do you think about that?
It's ridiculous.
It's a little confusing.
I don't know. What? So they're going to be Bharatians?
Bharatians. Probably.
What is... I wonder if it just... I don't know. I have so many questions. I think it's interesting. You don't hear of that all too often.
It was just a random thing that he just like sent out this dinner invitation, and it was titled President of Bharat. It didn't say India. And
that's interesting.
So he just like kind of on the sly was like, guess
Soft
what?
launch.
Guess what? Change the name of the country, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It is.
So don't say Indian. It's offensive no matter where you are in the world now. No good. What else? Oh, yeah. It's time to put on our tin hats real quick. I'll do it. Don't worry, I got this. Look at that, perfect size.
What the fuck?
Here we go. All right. So we're moving into a conspiracy corner now. I'm sure you've heard this conspiracy. It's all over TikTok and Instagram and the internet that the Hawaii fires were started by a laser. That it was the government who fucking fired a laser at Hawaii, and anything that was blue, cars, tarps, whatever, the specific shade of blue, didn't get burned by the fire.
Yeah. FEMA tarp blue.
Now, I am no laser expert by any means.
Yeah.
But the fact that people are even considering that this is a possibility, I think, is the real story here. That we distrust our government so much
right.
that rather than thinking like, oh, it was just a normal fire that was started by a brush fire, electrical fire, whatever. No, we're like, we go straight to the government did this and they're trying to fucking murder us.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the people of Maui. Like, that's so fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't say.
I'm just saying it. I'm
if
saying
it's true, you mean
it did not happen, and how dare you? These people just lost like everything, and everyone's saying this bullshit. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, why don't we just like talk about helping the people? Do you know what I mean? I just think it's so ridiculous.
Well, that would just not be fun. You have to come up with this crazy shit. And
right. And I love that they were like, we found out because Biden said it on national TV on accident.
Right. He said that he
Do you know what I
sent
mean?
the disaster person there
Ahead of time.
I don't know if that was a slip up because he's so old. I don't know what the fucking deal is. I am not an expert.
So are you going to put a tarp over our house so we're protected?
I might paint our house blue.
Okay.
I might get that exact shade of blue and...
But I think you need the tarp too, they're saying.
No, just blue.
Are you
It's
sure?
the color blue.
Okay.
That's the theory, is that... Because they were cars. Blue
Crazy.
cars that were...
I read all these people in
intact
Canada were
and-
like buying like the specific FEMA tarp and putting it on the roof.
So there you go.
So
People are believing
let's do it all.
this shit, and that to me is scary. That and you know, I am one of those people that I don't trust the government for shit. I don't. So just the fact that people are considering this, and it's a huge conspiracy. It's not this little tiny pocket of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that are
Yeah.
talking about this. People in Canada are fucking buying blue tarps. It's just strange that it hasn't been addressed. You'd think that, like, maybe Joey B would come out and say, listen, I've heard everyone's freaking out about the blue. This is not legit. You know what I mean? Like, everybody calm down.
Yeah, but you can't because then they'll like feed off of it more. They'll be like, see, it's true. Like,
He said
you know
it's
what I
not
mean?
true, so it's true.
Yeah. You can't.
It's a tough one.
It's like arguing with a drunk person. Do you know what I mean? Just don't. It's futile.
I just can't fucking believe it. But you never know. You never know what the government's capable of. Same with the 9/11 shit. You know, a lot of people think that 9/11 was an inside job, and the government, pretty much every bad thing that's happened in this country, they're like, oh, that was the government. It was planned.
Yeah.
It was some mastermind thing. It was something to control people.
Yeah, they say that about Sandy Hook shooting, and
Just
I find that just so funny. It's like, so really, like, our people have never done anything wrong ever.
I don't know if that's what they're trying to say, but
It seems like it. You know what I mean? It's just funny that like every time, right?
yeah, I mean, it can't all be a coincidence, right?
What?
Like you're saying, it's either planned or it's not.
Yeah. I just think it's
Yeah.
weird that like every time something bad happens, they're like, this was planned. And I'm like, I'm just not understanding how they think not one shooting has happened was like just a crazy person who literally.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Sorry if I'm not making sense.
I get you now. I got you.
I apologize.
You're good. So, the other conspiracy thing that I wanted to address is the alien thing. We've talked about it a lot on the show. They just this week found these little spheres, these little balls in the ocean, and they said they have come from another planet.
Yeah.
They're these fucking... I don't know what they're made of. Interplanetary balls.
Okay.
And I'm just sick of all this alien information. They also released these declassified videos of the UFO.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Nobody's reacting to that at all.
Yeah.
And I need to see some fucking aliens.
Yeah.
I think the more they show me these little tidbits, the more I'm like, it's fake.
Yeah.
Like, you have the balls. You can show me these little balls from outer space, and then they have the biologics. They have all these spaceships and all these things. Just show us.
Yeah, let's go.
This slow, trickling thing of information, we're all not interested anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
I think we all think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Unless I see a fucking alien, I'm going to have doubts.
Big time.
I've been back and forth on the alien thing. Very back and forth. Because part of me was like, it makes total sense with the universe being as huge as it is, all those infinite possibilities of other life on other planets. Sure, it makes sense. But then there's the thing of like, we have shit. Pretty much all I was saying is that I just want to see some fucking aliens. And until I see it, I ain't going to believe it because they have all these satellites, thousands of Elon Musk satellites, like so many.
Yeah.
The sky is covered in them.
Yeah.
And we can zoom in on a gnat's ass from outer space. If the aliens were out there, I think we'd have some better footage.
I am so ready for it. I'm with you 100%.
So it's like some days I'm like, they're there. They're there for sure. Other days I'm like, they're fucking with us again.
I know.
And I have to put on my tin hat.
Yeah. Well, can I one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should I make one or for later?
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, put it on later. We'll need to save some tin foil for when they come.
I'm scared.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. To finish things off, we're going to sing a little song in honor of Smash Mouth and Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Steve Harwell. Let me just pull up the... here we go. So what are some of the other ones besides All-Star Song that the hits that they had?
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
What was their like sun or holiday? What was their like summer one? I don't know. I can't. I'm blanking.
I had the album as a kid. I had the Smash Mouth CD. And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Every song on that CD was sick.
Agreed.
So this one is for you, Steve Harwell.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Did it make sense not to live for fun? Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back street? Oh, never shine if you don't go. You never shine if you don't go. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
See you next week.